I'm Maggie Kelly. I'm the Communications Director for the Estacada School District, and I'm excited to be joined today by Christina Weinerd, our Director of the Business Office. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about finances. And can you start out by introducing yourself and your role in the district?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Maggie. My name is Christina Weinerd. I'm the new Director of Finance for Estacada School District. But I am not new to school district finance. I actually have 13 years of experience, previously from Reynolds and from Morgan City.
Well, we are happy to have you here and with a strong background in finance and that you've been in this community and area for such a long time. So I guess my next question would be, what is your goal with these videos? As we launch these videos, we're going to do a monthly finance video series. What do you hope people get out of these?
Well, first, I'm looking forward to a little bit of fun in my finance world. I'm so excited about that. And as we were building our strategic plan, we wanted to find a way to share a little bit more about the school district finance. It's very unique and complex, especially from the public finance. So just kind of giving helpful tips, giving understandings, explaining our whys to our community, why we have all the rules and regulations we do, and just maybe kind of go through some of that and walk them through some of our daily processes, our big decisions that we make.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know I appreciate it. For one, finance cannot be the easiest thing to step into and look at as a community member. Sometimes there's a lot of numbers in there, so I appreciate you taking this time to kind of explain it a little bit more. And we always try and be good stewards of public funds and taxpayer funds, so I appreciate you stepping in and kind of shedding some more light on it. So what does a typical year look like? I know you're in a busy time right now. Do you want to tell anyone about what time of year it is at this time?
Yeah, I would love to share. So typically we're really pretty busy year round, but there's 2 times of years that we're exceptionally busy. And that is budget, which happens in the spring, and then the audit, which is happening as we speak today. I've been working with the auditors, and that is kind of going over our district finances.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time during a busy time of year, and I know that audit's important. Could you tell us a little bit more about what is an audit and who does the audit for us?
Yeah, well, we contract with a CPA firm called Polly Rogers, and they come in and work with us on building our financials and do a lot of the reviewing of the work that we have done throughout the year. There's a few reasons why we're required to get an audit. For one, we're a government entity and our finances are required to be turned into ODE every year, our financial statements. The perks of doing that is it increases confidence in our financial statements because our auditors issue letters to determine if we have any problems that any problems that they have found with which we're going for 0 findings. They review our internal controls and they review our grant compliance. And it looks good to investors to have a good audit. And then it builds trust in our district finances to have a good audit.
Okay, and I think that trust piece is really key. And I also appreciate that we have a third party that's stepping in. They have no skin in the game, and they really take an objective third party look into our books and into our system. So could you tell me a little bit more about what specifically do they look through? Like what types of things are they asking you to pull up for them?
Yeah, they do random sampling of many areas of our finance. They pull payroll files. They pull to make sure all the, when our employees get signed up, they're required to do W-4s and I-9s. They review all that to make sure we're compliant. They review our procurement, which is when we buy things, we have a process that we have to go to and guidelines. They review all that to make sure that we're meeting all our requirements. They review our cash management to make sure that we're within, we're definitely want them to review that to make sure we're compliant with how we're handling our cash and our investments. And then, like I already said, our grants, we're required to meet state and federal requirements on that. So there's a form called CFA that we fill out, and they review that. And then our internal controls, just who's doing what and making sure that we're handing off work to correct people, that one person's not doing too much or have too much power, that we're just trying to divvy out the work so that it protects the districts. And I appreciate that because then it protects me. And then just in general, we have to be compliant with government finance. So they review that.
Well, I think it's good you mentioned that we try and have two sets of eyes on everything at least, so that no one person is looking at everything, so we could catch any mistakes. So this sounds pretty thorough. Could you tell us a little bit, what does the history does the district have in audits over the recent years?
Yeah. Well, in my review, because that was one of the things I got to come and look at when I got here, we've had a great last 3 years with 0 findings in our audit. So that's very exciting. And it's very shortly going to be 4. I'm going for number 4. So I'm very happy to be a part of that.
Well, that is a good goal. So 0 findings, that is no big major red flags, no financial mishandling, kind of the gold standard then that we're shooting for.
Yeah, and I'm actually hoping to step up our standard even more. So currently we, not this year, because this is my first year, we do what is required in our financial statements. Next year, I'm hoping to go a little higher and prepare CAFR, or Comprehensive Annual Financial Reports. And that it is exactly what it is. It's more comprehensive. There's more statistical section in there so that the community can look in and see what our tax rate history is. There's a lot more to dive in about that. And what I'm excited about it too is once we finish that, we can turn it in for awards to really build our trust in our financials. So I'm hoping that will happen with our 2022 financials.
Well, that sounds like a pretty exciting goal. I know we have been working to increase our transparency. We have a pretty solid, trustworthy financial system, as our audits indicate, and now we're just working on being more transparent and more communicative about all the great things that are going on in the business office and in money management. So thank you for walking us through that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, I'm just very excited to do this, and I look forward to feedback and hearing what they want to. I would love to hear what the community wants to hear about our financials, some of the things they are interested in finding out, and why we do what we do.
Okay, well, thank you, Christina Weinert, for joining us and walking us through the audit and some of the great work you do. I appreciate it.